How's it going, guys? So today I'm releasing the DSG adaptation kit for the Nissan SR20 engine. This is the all-wheel drive version of the DSG kit. So in particular, it would be for the 54C and the 78 54 and 78 SR20 block. So that's the block that's got the narrower bottom end. The casting of the block's slightly narrower at the bottom, and that allows for the transfer case to clear the block. However, this is not impossible with a usual front-wheel drive block as well. It just means that there'll be a bit of trimming needed on the 53J block. So we got your main adapter plate. We got your transfer case support bracket, your two-piece crank adapters, your transfer case bolts, engine bolts, DSG bolts. Okay, so we got your block. We use the first crank adapter. You use your original flywheel bolts or ARPs, whatever it is you want to use. And then, so I've been told that that there's a variation between the crank holes. There's apparently 10mm bolts and 11mm bolts as well. I think the 11mm bolts are on the all-wheel drive blocks. But in any case, you can just let me know which bolts you're using. This one here is for 10mm bolts. And then the second adapter pops on top with the supplied bolts. Torque it down to 64 Newton meters with Loctite. And your dual mass flywheel, but you'll be using the 6-hole version, which will come with bolts. Torque that down to also 64 Newton meters. Okay, so that's the crank adapter and the dual mass flywheel. And for the main adapter, that's pretty straightforward. You should have two 9.5mm dowels in your block, so you can just leave them in. Just make sure they don't protrude more than 10mm from the block, and then you should be fine. Just to drop them, to get this located directly, you should just drop on. Okay, and then with the supplied bolts, tighten it down, get your crank adapter on, get your flywheel on, and then we're ready to get it onto the dq500. And there we've got the combination hooked up. You can see the transfer case bracket just bolts on easily. So on the front wheel drive block, you would need to trim that ear over there. On the all-wheel drive block, this ear isn't there, so that should be totally fine on the all-wheel drive block. So on this section over here, on both all-wheel drive and front-wheel drive blocks, there's a little bit of trimming required over there, but it doesn't break through the casing at all, and it doesn't affect structure at all. There's a little bit of trimming to do over there. And just so that we can Just want to try and show you that the flange it's perpendicular to the bottom of the gearbox and the sump. So you've got your prop shaft angle perfect down the tunnel. So that's sorted out. And then finally, I just want to show you guys where you need to trim. So on the 53 block and the 78 block, which is the all-wheel drive blocks, the only trimming required, and it's very minimal. I've actually gone overboard here a little bit, but you don't even need as much trimming as this. In fact, it's actually very little, probably about 3 millimeters of the surface in this area over here. So if you just, I'm just gonna get a little bit closer so you can see exactly what is being trimmed. You actually don't even need to break through over here. This is I just went crazy there, so it's not needed as much as that. Let me just do a top view so you can see. Yeah, it's not a lot at all. Okay, so that's on the 53 and the 78 all-wheel drive blocks. If you're going to use the 53 block, which is the front-wheel drive block, you're going to require an extra cut over this area over here. All right, and then you're going to have to fill that in. Now, again, I've taken off much more than that's needed here. You probably shouldn't need to break through the actual casing. I've just gone a little bit crazy there. If you can have a look from the side there, you can see I've gone a bit too much. But if you want to use the front wheel drive block, you're going to have to notch this out over here and possibly fill it in. I can't be 100% sure if you're going to have to fill it in. But on the all-wheel drive block, this over here is not required. Maybe just a little light, maybe like 1 millimeter off the surface at most, but not more than that over the section over here. And then this little ear over here, which impacts the transfer case bracket, this is now only found on the front wheel drive block, so that's when you need to trim that off. On the all-wheel drive block, I believe that these holes are not there, and as well as this one here is also not on the all-wheel drive block. Those are the two transfer case supporting holes. Yeah, just one more thing, guys, just to let you know that this particular adapter plate will work on the dq250 and the dq500 gearbox, but the transfer case bracket at the moment that I have is specifically for the dq500 gearbox. So if you wanted to use a 250 box, I would just have to change the transfer case support bracket. Thanks for watching.